Following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Saturday in Detroit, the New York Yankees took advantage of a bad outing by the Jim Slayton and pounded the Tigers 8-4 as the Yankees tried to hold off the Orioles, Red Sox, and Brewers for first place in the American League East. The Tigers had the bases loaded in the second and couldn't score. And then in the third, Greg Nettles, a two-run shot to put the Yankees on the board, 2-0. In the sixth, the Yankees batted around. Nettles with another solo shot, or a solo shot, his 14th of the year, 3-0 New York. Thurman Munson scored on a wild pitch. Jade Johnstone, of all people, singled home Reggie Jackson to make it 5-0. Then a sac fly by Fred Stanley made it 6-0. Detroit bothered to show up in the sixth. Steve Kemp, a fielder's choice, 6-1 New York. And in the eighth, the Yankees pounded the Tigers again. Roy White with a single to make it 7-1. Then Nettles, who had 4 RBI today, singled to score Paul Blair, 8-1. The Tigers made it almost interesting. Steve Kemp singled home Lou Whitaker in the eighth. John Walkenfuss singled home Mickey Stanley in the bottom of the ninth. And Rusty Staub singled to score Ron LaFleur. But the Yankees win 8-4 and stay out in front in the American League East. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1978. Today, from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, it's Sunday, the 25th of June. It's the New York Yankees and the Detroit Tigers. Brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today at Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Well, on this rainy afternoon in Detroit, the New York Yankees are looking for a 4-game sweep of the Detroit Tigers. And the Yankees will send out Don Gullett on the hill today. The Tigers counter with Steve Baker. And he can only pitch better than what he's pitched before. The Yankees are 43-26 going into game number 70 of their season. The Tigers are 29-38. They kind of had a lost cause season so far. The Yankees have not. If they had played this way in real life, as opposed to coming back from 14 down to pound the Red Sox, Billy Martin would still have a job and not Bob Lemon. So the Yankees are in command, at least of their own destiny right now, and the Tigers have dropped 6 straight. So settle in and spend part of an afternoon with us right here on Retro Sports Network. And so, big clue, go get 'em, Gullett. How are you today? Nice to have you along. Let's tell you a bit about Steve Baker. He is 1-3 with an 8.41 ERA. And he is making his 6th start of the year. This should be a doozy. On the 20th, so 5 nights ago, he pitched 4 2/3 innings against the Blue Jays and was lit up. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 3. So overall in 78, he has thrown 20 1/3 innings, 27 hits, 20 runs, 19 earned. He has walked 22 and struck out 14. If there is a plus side for this kid, he is a hard fastball pitcher at 96. Good afternoon there, Kenny Castro. And he's a ground ball plus pitcher. As I said, say a novena for this kid. He's going to need it. The Yankees lineup. Roy White will lead off in left field. Craig Nettles, who had 4 RBIs yesterday, will bat second and play third. Thurman Munson, I'm getting ahead of myself here, will catch and bat third. Chris Chambliss, the DH today, will clean up. Lou Piniella in right field will bat fifth. No Reggie Jackson. Jim Spencer is at first. He'll bat sixth. Gary Thomason is in center field. No Mickey Rivers. Fred Stanley is at short. He'll bat eighth. And Damaso Garcia, now the late Damaso Garcia, will play second and bat ninth. So no Randolph, no Rivers, and no Jackson for the Yankees. So the Tigers may or may not have a chance. DJ John, good morning to you too from the left coast. Defensively for the Tigers, Steve Kemp is a 6-4 in left. Ron LaFleur is a 6-6 in center. Mickey Stanley, a leftover from the heyday of the late 60s, is a 3-6 in right. Aurelio Rodriguez is an 8 at third. The future of the Tigers on display. Alan Trammell, a 9 at short. Lou Whitaker, an 8 at second. Jason Thompson, an 8 at first. And Lance Parrish is a 5 and an 8 behind the plate. Steve Baker is a 3 on the mound out of 10 and an 8.75 fielding percentage, as in he's not winning any Gold Gloves. Roy White steps in at 236. Don't spit on everything, Ronnie. 4 homers and 16 RBI. And so this one's underway. 79 degrees, winds blowing in from right center, and there's a light rain here at Tiger Stadium. Pitch to White, ball 4. And that's not what Baker wants to do. In 63 and a third real innings, Baker walked 42 and struck out 39. Craig Nettles is at 342. 14 homers and 48 RBI. If it wasn't for Jim Rice in Boston, you can make a case for Nettles being an MVP. Pitch to Craig is a ground ball base hit left side. White will go to third. Nettles on first, and there's runners in the corners and nobody out for Thurman Munson. At 282, 2 homers, and 40 RBI. Mr. Castro, I was watching some pole vaulting this last night. There's this kid from Sweden who was born in America that has the world record at 6 meters 18. My God, he's the right amount of cocky. And looks like he's about 12. So Munson at the plate. Baker delivers. Got away from Parrish, and everybody moves up 90. And that will score a run. So a wild pitch. He throws it at 99. So Baker just doesn't know how to harness it. And it's 1-0 New York before you can pour yourself a cold Stroh's. Pitch to Munson is a ground ball to Thompson. He'll take it at the bag himself. Nettles goes to third. Oh, yeah, LSU. I forget his name. His mom isn't bad looking either. Cold as ice under pressure. No, the Yankees, by the time they got to this point, they were legit. They were absolutely legit. They were loaded. Chris Chambliss being one of them. 266, 4 homers, and 37 RBI. Yes, the big clue says from 70 to 88, the Yankees average 90 wins a year. There's a reason why they broke my heart a lot. Pitch to Chambliss is a ground ball to Whitaker. Now Nettles will score. Throw to first. Chambliss is retired. Well, there were always better teams than the Yankees. And Steinbrenner, God rest his soul, interfered too much. It's amazing they never got there after 81. Their pitching was never that great, though. Yep, but you're right. I mean, there were some good one-year wonders. The Tigers in 84, the Brewers in 82. The Red Sox got good in the late 80s, but their best team was 86. Piniella at 269, no homers and 20 RBI. Yes, they gave up an awful lot. They should have beaten the Blue Jays in 85. I think that would be the only one I think the Yankees probably should have won. And fugly is the right word. 2 out, 2-0 New York. And he got him. Piniella swings and misses at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And that will retire the side. The Yankees scored 2 on a hit, a walk, and no errors. Half an inning in the books. Yankees 2. Here come the Tigers. The thing is, Don Gullett is at the end of his career. He only has 4 more starts, including this one. So in 4 starts, he's 1-2 with a 4.43 ERA. He is done for the year on July 12th. Yeah, Martin really was, yes, absolutely. The last time out, Gullett beat the Red Sox for his first win of the year on June 20th. 6 in the third innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 8. So in 22 and the third innings, he's allowed 22 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned. 2 homers, he's walked 13 and struck out 17. And that fastball tops out at 92. He is a ground ball pitcher. So the lineup he'll face. Not in the 80s they weren't. Ron LaFleur will lead off for Detroit in center field. Steve Kemp is in left. He'll bat second. Rusty Staub, the DH, will go third. Jason Thompson cleans up at first. Aurelio Rodriguez at third will bat fifth. Mickey Stanley is in right field. He'll go sixth. Lance Parrish behind the plate goes seventh. And then Trammell and Whittaker, eighth and ninth, the double play combination. LaFleur will not bunt. The Yankees play for it. Ronnie at 270, 6 homers and 21 RBI. Pitch to LaFleur is a loader into the wall in the gap in left center, and Ron's going to have a stand-up double. Never mind it said slid. He was in there in a stand-up double. So the Tigers get a good leadoff hitter there. Here's Kemp, 254, 8 homers and 36 RBI. Good morning, Lorenzo. Yeah, Brian Taylor, maybe one of the biggest draft busts of all time. The Yankees weren't beating the Reds in 76. To be honest, though, I think this was probably the luckiest Yankee championship in the World Series. Nettles, as we've talked about before, won them the damn series. But there wasn't much fluky about the Yankees in this era. Pitch to Kemp is a liner up the middle for a base hit. LaFleur will score easily. Kemp is on with a single, and it's 2-1, just like that. The bar fight. This of their 81 pennant. Here's Staub at 280. 10 homers and 51 RBI. I just think all the fighting between Martin and Steinbrenner did him in. And, of course, letting Reggie go to the Angels didn't help either. Well, as a Red Sox fan, I loved it. But pitch to Staub. Here's a line drive to right. Pinella's there. Throws to first. And Kemp is back. Texas, I believe. I believe Martin got into a bar fight down in Arlington. Jason Thompson is at 287. 6 homers and 36 RBI. Billy also had a tendency to punch out some toilets, too. Pitch to Thompson, ball 4. So runners on first and second, 1 out. I didn't even do the defense for the Yankees. Roy White is a 7 and a 1 in left. Gary Thomason, I believe, is a 5 and 3 in center. You know, Billy was a spunky little guy for sure. First name of Alvin, as a matter of fact. Piniella, a 5 and a 2 in right. Oh, yeah, he'd punch you in the jaw. Craig Nettles a 10 at third. Fred Stanley a 5 at short. Damaso Garcia a 4 at second. Jim Spencer is a 5 at first. Munson a 9 and an 8 behind the plate. And Gullett is a 5 with not a very good fielding percentage. Oh, yeah, Taylor, when he was with the minors, they just handed him too much money. You can't hand the kid that much money and expect him to behave. Look what happened to Dwight Gooden. Rodriguez at 221 with 4 homers and 17 RBI. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Bottom of the first. Ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Mickey Stanley, who's hitting 283, a homer and 7 RBI. AER 194666 is our latest follower here on Twitch. That gives us 92. And thank you. Thank you very much. So they're loaded. Kemp on third, Thompson second, and Rodriguez on first. And the Tigers have them loaded. Pitch to Stanley, and there's a ground ball right back to Gullett. Goes home for 1, and that's all they're going to get. So that was a comebacker to Gullett. He threw it right to Munson, and that's the second out. So Stanley on first, Rodriguez on second, Thompson on third. Yep, and Gooden, of course, hung out with Dykstra and Strawberry. But my God, they handed him $1 million in 1986. And he was, 19 years old? And Dykstra certainly is still bad news. Lance Parrish is not 261, 8 homers and 25 RBI. Pitch to Lance is a ground ball to Garcia over to first, and the Yankees get out of it. How about that? The Tigers get a run on 2 hits. They leave them loaded. After one, it is 2-1 New York. So Jim Spencer, Gary Thomason, and Fred Stanley to face Baker here in the second. Gullett threw 33 pitches in the first. Spencer at 224, 6 homers and 18 RBI. Pitch to Spencer is a ground ball to Whittaker. Over to first, 1 out. So I think tomorrow we'll do the live chat with Dave. And then I might do a couple streams on Sunday. I still owe a bunch of Patreon stuff. You got a hit and a run, you're good. I think you might do better than that. Thomason at 276, 3 homers and 6 RBI. And that's a what? Wow, so a swing and a miss, and Parrish lost the ball, and Thomason goes to first. On the pass ball that hit off the shin pad of Parrish and bounced away. There's not a lot of room behind home plate. And Ernie Harwell just kind of shakes his head in the booth next to me. Fred Stanley at 174, no homers and 3 RBI. Baker just has no control. Pitch to Stanley. There's a bunt. Parrish will pick it up, throws to Whittaker covering, and Thomason goes to second, 2 out for Garcia. Damaso, as you know, lost his long battle with leukemia this week, or last week if you're watching this on YouTube. Hit 195 for the Yankees with an RBI in 78. 0 for 1 in the replay. He grounded into a double play. Baker deals, and there's a base hit left center field. Thomason will score. Garcia will hold it first, and it's 3-1 New York. And so through 9 batters, Steve Baker, 31 pitches, an inning and 2/3. 2 hits, 2 runs earned, 3 in total. You don't get an earned run, of course, on the pass ball. He has walked 1 and struck out 2. Pitch to White is a ground ball right back to Baker, over to Thompson, and that will retire the side. The Yankees get a run on a hit, no errors. After an inning and a half, it's the Yankees 3, the Tigers 1. Yep. Him and Tony Fernandez, who we lost recently too, were a very good double play combination for the Blue Jays and a big part of their 85 championship run. And if Tony Fernandez doesn't get hurt in the last week of the 87 season, I think the Blue Jays hold off the Tigers. Alan Trammell at 269, a homer and 16 RBI. Steinbrenner's, one of his biggest mistakes, Big Clue has this right, was firing Dick Hauser. Imagine if George's on-field interference and Martin drama hadn't continued in the 80s. Well, as a Red Sox fan, I'm glad that it did, but you're right. I still think, the Hauser stuff, the feud with Yogi Berra, which was completely unnecessary, and letting Reggie go, I think were the big mistakes for the Yankees, along with trading people like McGriff. We talked about this in whether it was a game stream or one of Dave's things. Billy Martin flipping off the camera in his 1972 Tigers card. Pitch to Trammell is a little looper past Spencer and into right field for a base hit. Oh yeah, Mr. May, the Winfield and paying off. Yeah, that got him a lifetime suspension, didn't it? Lorenzo says chaos in the camp of a hated rival is a good thing. When the Giants have issues, and he's talking San Francisco, and not the ungodly goodness that is the New York Football Giants. I am happy. Lou Whittaker at 294, no homers and 16 RBI. Yes. And of course, Hauser got the Royals their first World Series victory in 85. and then succumbed to brain cancer. Pitch to Whittaker is a liner up the middle, base hit. Trammell will hold at second, and the Tigers have 2 on and nobody out for Ron LaFleur, who singled or doubled and scored his first time up. So LaFleur, who has 28 stolen bases so far. Yeah, it's always better when their best, everybody's best beats everybody's best. And hopefully Kansas City celebrates Don Deckinger Day in style. Pitch to LaFleur is a ground ball to Stanley. Flips it to Garcia for 1. Over to Spencer. LaFleur can fly, and he beat it out. So just the 1. Trammell goes to third, and that'll bring up Steve Kemp, who singled and had an RBI, his 37th. Oh, yeah. Hard not to admire Hauser. Pitch to Kemp is a fly ball, left center field. Back goes Thompson. Trammell should score. Ralph Houck will send him home, and it's 3-2 New York. No, Denkinger did not throw Game 7, and they were definitely not prepared. As tough as 86 was for me, at least the Red Sox came out and scored the first 3 in Game 7 after what happened in Game 6. And the Cardinals were toast. The Cardinals were absolutely toast. I didn't show you the standings, did I? So the Yankees, in fact, you can't even see the Tigers. The Yankees have now won 7 straight, including the first 3 of this 4-game set in Detroit. Baltimore has lost 3 straight, so it's 3 by the Yankees over the Orioles and 5.5 over the Red Sox. In the West, Kansas City's won 3 straight. California has dropped 7 in a row. But the West is tight. Texas has now won 8 straight. And so that's a 5-team race. Only Seattle and Oakland are out. Philadelphia has won 3 in a row. They lead Pittsburgh by a game and 2 in the loss column. And the Dodgers by 3 over Houston and 6.5 over a slump in Cincinnati. If he does his job, there is no Game 7. Yeah, for that. And yeah, that's on. I agree with Whitey. Did not have that team ready for Game 7. There's a reason why Whitey got fired in Kansas City. In Kansas City too. So LaFleur leads off the bag. 2 out for Staub, who's 0 for 1. There goes Ronnie. The throw down to Stanley, and he's retired. So they got him. But the Tigers get another run on 2 hits and no errors. Not a pitcher's duel here today. 3-2 New York. So Baker to face Nettles, Munson, and Chambliss. Gregg singled and scored the first time up. Whitey got canned. Yeah, in St. Louis. To be fair, though, they probably should have won the 87 series. So really, they were the favorite in all 3 of their 80 series. And Joe Torre nearly got them to a World Series. Pitch to Nettles, ball 4. Before Joe choked away a 3-1 lead. So off-speed pitch from Baker. Except Jack Clark sat out the 87 series. That's right. That did even the odds. And the Twins were on such a roll after disposing the Tigers. Thurman is 0 for 1. You're absolutely right. And that would have been a whale of a series. But the first 2 games of that ALCS were in Minneapolis, and they just Homer Hankied the Tigers right out of existence. Pitch to Munson. There goes Nettles. The throw down to Whittaker, and Craig has been thrown out. So 1 away for Thurman and a 1-0 count. Yes, Jack Clark as a Dodger fan is a big Sparky and Whitey would have been a good battle. And Weaver, I said, is a good manager, but I do think that pressure just does different things to different people. Sparky looked like a man that was always 20 years older than he really was. Pitch to Munson is into center field. LaFleur will come in and make the catch to... Great play. In fact, he had a dive to get that for the second out. Tiger Stadium, Home run haven if you're a lefty today. Batting average +1 for the lefties, +4 for the righties. And for the home run, it's a 59% improvement chance for a left-handed batter down that line and right, and an 8% chance for a righty. Yeah, Whitey was a good baseball man. Didn't like Marv Albert all that much, but a good baseball man. Chambliss has an RBI. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Chris is ball 4. So Steve Baker has walked 3 and struck out 2. 3-0 curve at 90 was in there tight. Piniella struck out his first time up. Yeah, hard to believe. See, I'll be 49 in November. But Sparky looked ancient. And so I'll put on the camera for a second. Okay? You know, that's the way that Sparky should have looked at 48 years old. And he looked about 65. Maybe not with the booger hanging his nose, but no one pays attention to that. Ground ball to short. Trammell flips it to Whittaker. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. The Yankees go down, but they still lead 3-2. Yeah, Sparky went white in his late 20s, but he looked old. Even when you go back, you'll watch the clips from the Reds World Series runs in the 70s. He looked old, and he was in his mid-30s. Staub, or late 30s. Staub is 0 for 1. Thompson and Rodriguez to follow. Pitch to Rusty, ball 4. So Staub on first. Having no pitching staff will do that for you. The reason why the Reds struggle in short tournaments is because they never had an ace. You know, at least in '84 with Sparky had Jack Morris. Jason Thompson walked his first time up. Gullett delivers, and Thompson ground ball right side base hit. Piniella will pick it up. Rusty will hold at second. And there's nobody out for Rodriguez, who walked his first time up. Gullett has allowed 5 hits and walked 3. Pitch. Ball 4. So the Tigers have him loaded and nobody out for Mickey Stanley, who's 0 for 1. 3 runs on 2 hits for the Yankees. The Tigers have 2 runs and 5 hits. Pitch to Stanley is a ground ball to Garcia, deep in the hole. Over to Stanley for 1 to Spencer. Stanley is retired by Stanley, I think. And yes, he is. So it's a double play, but the tying run will score in Rusty Staub. And it's 3 apiece for Lance Parrish. It's one of the options, Big Clue. You go under player displays and you can see that large icons is checked with the radio button. Hit that, and that will tell you, that will give you the players' names as opposed to just the circles. Tommy, I thought, was older than Sparky. Tommy's what? 92 now, right? He's still with us. And Sparky in 79, yeah, within 5 years, and they did on the 5th year. Sparky was a heck of a manager. Lance Parrish is 0 for 1, by the way. Thompson on third, and there's a fly ball left center field. Thomason will track it down. And, in fact, he made the catch against the wall. How about that? And so, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. After 3, it's the Yankees 3, the Tigers 3. Brought to you by the Walter Alston Fan Club. Because that's the way it should be. Wink, wink. Yeah, Lasorda was 7 years older. Someone asked for some Tommy hate, so I'm going to give him some Tommy hate. I like Lasorda. It'll be Spencer, Thomason, and Stanley. Spencer is 0 for 1. Pitch to Jimmy is a ground ball deep in the hole behind the bag. Whittaker with a long throw, and Spencer's out. I'll bring up Thomason, who is 0 for 1. Or Thomason, yeah. He struck out his first time up. Baker fires at ball 4. So he can throw that 90-mile-an-hour curve, and it doesn't do any good. Here's Stanley. Fred. Sack bunt his first time up. I reserve nothing but scorn for any blowhard who calls the big Dodger in the sky. Oh. Pitch to Stanley. Struck him out. 98-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and missed, and that's the third for Baker and 2 out. Truth is an absolute defense. Absolutely. Garcia with an RBI single his first time up. 1 for 2, or 1 for 1. Baker's pitch. Snap throw to first, and Thomason's back. So the count of ball and no strikes. Perry's trying to keep him honest. Baker's pitch. Here's a base hit right center field. Thomason goes to third. Garcia is at first. I'm not touching that conversation in the chat. Roy White has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Baker threw 18 batters, 69 pitches, 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 3-3 the score, 2 out, top the 4th. Well, that's right. You got my Mookie Betts. So take your chances now. Pitch to White is a ground ball to third. Rodriguez across the way. And that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Yankees strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still the Tigers and Yankees 9-3. Oh, yeah, because I give you so much grief there, Lorenzo. Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, and Ron LaFleur to face Gullett here in the 4th. Trammell singled and scored his first time up. Ah, really? I did not know that. For a while, no Dodger wore number 1 because that number belonged to the big Dodger in the sky. Well, what's he supposed to do on Sundays? Because the Cowboys played in God's favorite stadium because that's where there was no they didn't finish the roof so God could watch his favorite team. So on Sundays during baseball season in September, does he watch the Dodgers or does he watch the Cowboys? He's omnipresent. He can watch whatever he wanted. Pitch to Trammell is a ground ball to Garcia over to Spencer, 1 out. Crowd didn't like that, but he was out. He takes Saturdays off, of course. Yes, I remember Sandy Koufax. He was in all the papers. Lou Whitaker singled his first time up. Gullett delivers, and there's a ground ball to Garcia behind the bag at second, over to first. They keep me on my toes between all the hostility and fugglies I get. These two keep me on my toes. Here's LaFleur. At least it's all come by today because the Reds and Dodgers aren't playing. Well, they are, but not on the stream. That sounds like the name of an album. We May Be Bots. LaFleur 1 for 2. He has doubled and scored. Gullett 3 2/3 innings, 85 pitches through 18 batters, 5 hits, 4 walks, no strikeouts, and 3 earned runs. Oh, Kenny, no. Actually, that would be for God, wouldn't it? Notre Dame football. Pitch to LaFleur is a liner in the right field for a base hit. That's the 6 hits for the Tigres. Oh, number 1 referring to Lasorda-led teams. Kemp has a 2-run single on his dance card. He's 1 for 2. People make me sick about the Irish. Pitch to Kemp. Struck him out. So he took a 1-2 in there at the knees, and the side is retired. That's right. We eat leprechauns for lunch. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 4, it's the Yankees 3, the Tigers 3. That bunch in South Bend have not suffered enough. The rest, I'm fine with. And this inning is brought to you by Slim Fast Pasta Sauce. When you love lasagna and spaghetti, but don't need to eat too much, grab yourself a good old jar of Slim Fast Pasta Sauce. Craig Nettles is 1 for 1. He has walked, singled, and scored as we start the top of the fifth. Baker giving me the fatigue warning. I don't know where Mr. Ratcast is to root for the Mets. Pitch to Nettles is a fly ball to right field. Stanley goes way back there. It's gone. So Nettles continues to pound Tiger pitching. That's his third homer in the last 2 days and 15th overall. And it's 4-3 Yankees. All Stanley could do is turn and watch it go. Dave and I have been working together. We started the podcast back last July. But he started as a sponsor on my channel back in December of 18. And it's a very happy and healthy collaboration. Al, I think, is working from home today, so he might pop in at some point. He can't do Twitch at work. Lorenzo, with all the grief I put up with from him, here's Munson. He's 0 for 2. Baker's pitch, and Munson ground ball to Trammell in the hole, over to first for the out. You know, that was so much fun. Dave and I doing that together. Yes. No. We tried to get Sharon on here. Yeah, Dave's actually been here. So Dave's seen my setup. It really was. Once we all can travel together, or travel around again, Al is coming up too. So be nice to see Al. I've known Al for about, 4 years? Chris Chambliss drove in a run in his 0 for 1. Pitch from Baker is a ground ball past a diving Thompson. Stanley comes in to pick it up, and that's a hit. Yep, they came up. They're not too far. He's in the Boston area. And so they popped up Labor Day weekend, as a matter of fact. Not talking about Dave's wandering hand. No, we had a good time. We were friends beforehand. We chat several times a day. So Piniella is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch from Baker. Up the middle between Trammell and Whittaker, and Chambliss will go to third. So runners in the corners, 1 out. Yeah, it is Lorenzo. Here's Jimmy Spencer. He's 0 for 2. Ralph Houck is looking at his bullpen right now. Pitch from Baker. Struck him out. Spencer got an 0-2 fastball at 98 on the inside corner, and that's 4. There was no wandering hand. He told me that was the cat. Gary Thomason is 0 for 1. He has walked, scored, and struck out. Pitch from Baker is a line drive right in the waiting glove of Lou Whittaker. Yankees go ahead on the monster shot by Craig Nettles. A run on 3 hits. The Yankees strand 2. Halfway home, it's 4-3 New York. He told me that was the cat. And we'll be back on Twitch in 30 seconds. John, when you've been married as long as Dave and I have to our wives, I'm sure they would just, you go right ahead. You do what you want to do. Here's what you missed if you joined us late. The Yankees got 2 in the top of the first. Roy White on a wild pitch and Chris Chambliss on a fielder's choice. Steve Kemp singled home Ron LaFleur in the second. Damaso Garcia made it 3-1 Yankees in the top of the second. The Detroit got 1 in the bottom of the first. In the second inning, a sac fly from Steve Kemp, and then the Tigers tied it in the third on a grounder. But Greg Nettles with a solo shot to right center made it 4-3 New York. In the fifth. And there's the pitching summary so far. Dave is from the Boston area. Tales from the Loop. TurboTax and Navy for DJ John. You're getting Robbie's ads. Kenny, you got a condom ad? It's a gaming channel. I would think blow-up dolls would be the more appropriate ad for a gaming channel. So, Rusty Staub. Wow, we're at 40 minutes already. That's right. Rusty Staub's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. 4-3 Yankees here, bottom of the fifth. Pitch to Staub is popped up left side. Stanley is there. He'll help you do things right. 1 out. Jason Thompson is walked and singled. 1 for 1. Did I get sleep? Yeah, I actually slept pretty well last night. Lorenzo's wife uttered, "You need to go back to Fortnite." Staub was there for a while. So what did I say that made your wife roll her eyes there, Lorenzo? Pitch to Thompson is a ground ball past Spencer, and the Tigers have the tying run on again. Yeah, you won't hear that on a Fortnite stream. Rodriguez has walked twice. So bullpens are going to be busy early here. Munson and Gullett take some time. Pitch from Don Rodriguez. Ground ball to third. Nettles to Garcia for 1. Over to Spencer. And that will be 2. And that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. They don't strain anybody after 5. New York 4, Detroit 3. The wandering hand caper. As I said, they told me that was the cat. So Fred Stanley, Damaso Garcia, and Roy White. Stanley struck out in a sac bunt in the second. Baker, pretty much down to brass tacks. Got him! A full count fastball at 94, and that will be 5 for Baker. And we won't. Garcia, 2 for 2, a de facto tribute game to him, with an RBI, a single twice. Baker deals. Ground ball past a diving Whittaker. And so Damaso Garcia goes 3 for 3. I'm not going there. And that'll do it for Baker. And in will come Jack Morris, who was a swing pitcher in 1978. We got a pitching changes game coming to you from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Morris is 2-2, by the way, with a save and an ERA of 3.25. This is his 14th appearance. He's made 3 starts. He's not faced the Yankees. He last pitched on the 21st. He faced 1 batter against the Blue Jays. So in 36 innings, he's allowed 33 hits, 4 homers, 14 runs, 13 earned. He's walked 18 and struck out 15. That fastball in 1978 tops out at 90, and he's a ground ball pitcher. Garvey played with a massive chip on his shoulder. So Garcia on first. White at the plate. Roy 0 for 2. He has walked and scored. Pitch to Roy. Ground ball to Whittaker. Flips it to Trammell for 1. Over to first. Does he induce a double play? Yes, he does. And that will retire the side. No runs or hit, no errors. 5.5 in the books. New York 4. Detroit 3. And I'm laughing at DJ John's comment. That wasn't a massive chip, just massive hairspray. Lorenzo found him stiff, robotic, and arrogant as hell. Yep. Aquanet. Mickey Stanley's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play. Gullett starts the bottom of the sixth with a walk. So, really, they're going to bring in Gossage in the sixth inning. Who the hell's managing the computer? Howard Cosell? So, Gossage making his 25th appearance. He can throw 55 pitches. He is 3-1 with 16 saves and an ERA of 1.47. Against the Tigers, he's pitched twice, only gone an inning, and pulled up a save. And that was Friday night. So in 43 innings, he's allowed 27 hits, 7 runs all earned, 3 long balls. He has walked 10 and struck out 33, but he hasn't struck anybody out in a week. Actually, 9 days. He's a fly ball pitcher. He's a fastball pitcher at 95. Oh, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to talk to Vinny and get the real stories? And obviously you know the players he likes, Fernando and Yeager, and he loved Jackie Robinson. Chris Collinsworth, huh? I've heard that about Chris. Here's some... Yes, and Scully seems to be the kind of person who would go out of his way to say nice things about people, even if he has a low opinion of them. So pitch to Parrish, gets away from Munson, and Stanley moves up 90 on the wild pitch. So it's 2-2 to Parrish, Stanley on second. We certainly do need more Vinnies in the world, don't we? Pitch to Parrish, struck him out. He got him on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the inside corner. And that'll bring up Trammell with 1 out, 1 for 2. He is singled and scored. Yep. Pitch to Trammell, struck him out. A 1-2 at the belt on an off-speed pitch. And there's 2 out for Lou Whitaker, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Pitch from the Goose is ball 4. So that'll bring up LaFleur, who is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, and scored. Tying run on second in Stanley, and Whitaker on first, the go-ahead run. Gossage deals. Snap throw to first, and Whitaker's back. So a ball 1 count. Whitaker was kind of looking for that. 2 out, and a 1-0 count to LaFleur. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball center field. Back goes Thomas in deep, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. So, no runs, no hits, no errors. The Tigers strand 2. You know we're having a good time at 47 minutes, and we're starting the 7th inning. After 6, Yankees 4, Tigers 3. So Morris will face Nettles, Munson, and Chambliss. Nettles, his last time up, put one off the facing of the upper deck in right center. This Tiger team isn't terrible. Their record says 29-38, but they were what, Mark? They were a 500 club in 78. Pitch to Nettles is ball 4. So the full count just missed inside, and now we'll bring up Munson, who's 0 for 3. Morris got a double play to get out of the top of the 6th. And he strikes out Munson. How about that? 2-2, swing and a miss on a fastball, and that's the first for Morris. I think I do about 3 Dodger games a week. I think I did 3 this week. Trammell and Whitaker belong in Cooperstown, and Parrish would be close. They were all quite young in 78. Yep. That 84 team was fun. They started, of course, 35-5. And 2 of those 5 losses were to the Red Sox. Pitch to Chambliss, who's 1 for 2. Ground ball to Trammell, speaking of which, Whitaker for 1, over to Thompson. And do they turn it? Yes, they do. Stretch time. 4-3 Yankees. this pitching. No, that's just being a 13-year-old kid that loved the Red Sox. I know that one. Wikipedia helps with a lot of stuff too, but nope, that one I remember from being 13 or 12. 81 is a ton of pitching. Oh my God, if you love pitching, 81 is perfect. And if you're a Cardinal fan or a Red fan, you want to do that because they can actually win the division. That's right. I remember my childhood way better than Dave, being, younger. He's got about 5 years on me. It'll be Kemp, Staub, and Thompson to face Gossage here in the bottom of the 7th. Kemp 1 for 2. He's driven in 2. That came early on and struck out once. Tigers' first loss in 84 were to the Royals. But when it mattered in the ALCS, it was 3-zip Detroit. Pitch to Kemp. Struck him out. Ventriloquism has its advantages, Lorenzo. Gossage got him to check his swing on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, one away. That's 3 for the Goose, speaking of wandering hands. I.D. Jester is the one that plays inside pitch. Rusty Staub is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Yes. Yanks, A's, Dodgers, and Phils, and man, could they pitch. Man, could they pitch. You could just do one for Billy Martin and that A's team. Pitch to Staub is a little looper that's going to get past Spencer, and so the Tigers have a hit. 8 hits for the Tigers, 7 for the Yankees. Jason Thompson's 2 for 2 with a walk. Yep. That's why we never did another split season. Pitch to Thompson is into left field. White should be there. He is. And Staub goes back to first. 2 out for Rodriguez. Aurelio has walked twice and is 0 for 1. So Gossage, because he's not going to finish the game, but he's going to get some good innings in. Gets away from Munson, and Staub will go to second, so the tying run in scoring position in a 1-1 count. That fastball skipped off the glove, and the count is a ball and a strike. Pitch to A-Rod, strike 3. Gossage got him looking. On a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, no runs, a hit. The Tigers leave a runner on after 7. Yankees 4, Detroit 3. Zealand from the FM 2020 streamer, concurrent with the stream, is doing the European Championship quarterfinal plays. I'm sure it is. I got to sub to him. 81 was a disaster. I won $1 on that World Series for the Dodgers, by the way. Yep. Yes, they do, Lorenzo. Absolutely, the rest of the world loves soccer. 82 made up for it, though. We had 4 good divisional races. Piniella, by the way, 1 for 3. He is singled and struck out. Morris starts the inning with a line drive to third. Rodriguez is there, 1 out. For Jim Spencer, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Pitch from Morris is a looper into right center field. That'll drop in front of Stanley, who should have came in a little faster. And so that's the 8th hit for the Yankees. Thomason's 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. Morris, 23 years old, delivers. Popped up center field. LaFleur has it for the out. No wind here at Tiger Stadium, 84 degrees. Skies are threatening, but it's a pleasant day here. All the grandpas are in the upper deck with their shirts off, showing their man boobs and white chest hair, grossing out the grandkids. Here's Fred Stanley. He has struck out both times. I always had a soft spot for Morris because his no-hitter was the first I ever watched from start to finish. But Morris got in the Hall of Fame for 1 game, Game 7 of the 91 World Series. Pitch to Stanley is a ground ball up the middle. Whittaker to Thompson, and that will be the side. So no runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Going to have a pinch hitter. For Mickey Stanley, Yankees 4, Tigers 3. So who can hit a righty? John Walkenfuss will pinch hit. 220, 2 homers, and 5 RBI. The problem is you can't really do relegation in the States because the major league clubs own the minor league teams. I mean, let's just say that Pawtucket would get promoted, and they're the Red Sox type farm club. The lottery? I don't know, because it takes so long to develop baseball players. I mean, you could do like Houston and do it right. Yeah, Wilcox was 1 out away from a perfect game. You can draft smart, but then you have teams like the Pirates or teams like Tampa that won't pay their players that they develop. Yeah, I don't see tanking as a huge problem. Pitch to Walkenfuss is a ground ball, base hit right side. So Garcia got a late jump, and the Tigers have the tying run on again. They guard the lines for Lance Parrish, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Yeah, baseball's always kind of needed a salary floor, in my view. Pitch to, Munson and Gossage will talk things over. And Parrish strikes out. So, full count. Ricky, how are you, my buddy? So, 1 out for Trammell, who's 1 for 3. Struck out, scored, and singled. Yankees. Big hit was a Craig Nettles homer off the facing in right field. Dave Gardner, by the way, has a new Cleveland Spiders game up on his channel. Presented in part by Uncle Ron's Nerve Tonic. Now get the new family size bottle for just 79 cents a quart. Yeah, ownership has just been, there are some teams that are just disasters. Pitch to Trammell. Struck him out. So Gossage got him on a 2-2 on the black at 93. And that's 6 of his 7 outs have come by way of the K. Here's Whittaker. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Ground ball to Garcia over to Spencer, and that will retire the side. So, don't know who's going to come in to pitch for the Yankees in the 9th, but they lead 4-3. Don't forget, after the game, the post-game show will wrap up everything that we're in a busy day in baseball on a Sunday. I got to put in a right fielder. Tim Corcoran, or Cochran, a 6 and 7 in right. Will bat 6th if the Tigers get that far. Morris, through 2 2/3, is allowed to hit a walk and a strikeout. Garcia, 3 for 3 with an RBI. I think especially in soccer, because especially in Spanish soccer, I'm not sure what the deal is with Italy as far as TV money is concerned, but it's all about Barcelona and Real. Pitch to Garcia is a ground ball to third. Rodriguez over to Thompson, and they finally get retired Damaso. Roy White is 0 for 3. He has walked and scored. Yankees trying to get to 44 and 26. Not a bad opening 70 games. Pitch to Roy is a line drive past Thompson, and that's the 9th hit for the Bombers. Brings up Nettles. He is singled, homered, walked twice, and scored twice. And so, again, he's probably going to be our digitalized player of the game. Throw to first. White is back. Oh, you might want to tell that to Dave. The 1899 Spiders were that bad because the owners bought the St. Louis Cardinals and transferred all the Spiders' best players to St. Louis, or the Perfectos as they were called then. You could do syndicate ownership. Pitch to Nettles. There goes White. The throw down to Trammell, and Roy is safe. That's number 6. Ricky also says, but you have a case, especially in the American League, where we kind of knew the playoff teams before, if the season began on time. Not good for Major League Baseball in that scenario. You can move Mike Trout to Boston at any point. We'll take good care of him. We'll even let him wear the the Eagle stuff on the field. Pitch to Nettles. Struck him out. So Morris got him on a 1-2 fastball. Swung on and missed. That's 2 for Jack and 2 out. For Munson, who's 0 for 4. LaFleur, Kemp, and Staub for the Tigers in the 9th. And Gossage is at 55 pitches already. Pitch to Thurm. Struck him out. So Morris does his job. Kenny Clay's going to come back in to get the save. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's the Yankees 4, the Tigers 3. So Clay, making his 19th appearance, is 4-0. He started yesterday. They must not have Lyle. So this is interesting management by the computer. 6 2/3 innings of starting pitching yesterday. Where's Clinton? I got to sneeze. Hold on. 7 hits. 1 run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. 56 2/3 innings, 66 hits. 25 runs, 23 earned, 5 homers, 18 walks, and 32 strikeouts. And you guys therein lies the rub in the chat for you guys as far as Major League Baseball's there. LaFleur is 2 for 4. They're playing back. He is singled and doubled. And so he's going to drop one here. It's down. Munson will pick it up. Throws to Garcia covering, and it got away. It got away. The throw was high, and LaFleur moves to second just like that. So Munson threw it above the glove of Garcia, and the Tigers have the tying run on second. Nobody out. For Kemp, who's 1 for 3. He is singled and driven in 2. Clay's pitch. Kemp in the right center field. LaFleur will round third. We're tied. And so I don't know why they didn't go with Lyle. Lyle's on short rest too. They could have gone with... They really didn't have any good options. I don't know why they went... That's probably why the computer went with Gossage so early. Tidrow is probably their best option. So now we're tied at 4. Spencer and Nettles ground down the line. Staub is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored and walked. I was deeply happy with the Nationals winning the World Series. That team was so much fun to cover for that year and a half. Sorry about the Dodgers, but I love that. Pitch to Staub is a ground ball to Garcia. Stanley for 1 over to first. Not in time, so Rusty's on with 1 out. They were a fluke. Yep. Yeah, we'd like to thank Dusty Baker for that. What? Sorry about the Dodgers or sorry? No, I'm a Nats fan. I am an unabashed Washington Nationals fan. Jason Thompson is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and walked. It doesn't matter how you get there. So says the fan of the 2004 and 2007 Red Sox. It's the fact that you got there. Staub on first. Pitch from Clay. Ground ball foul. Oh, no, Nettles snares it. Goes to second for 1, and that's an out. Oh, my goodness gracious. Greg Nettles in that no-doubles defense snared the ball on the line, flung it to Garcia for the second out. And Game 5 for the Cardinals was just one of those weird, wild games. The Braves are still watching the Cardinals run the bases. Yeah. They play hard for Snitker, and that was just one of those what are we watching type things. So Aurelio Rodriguez is 0 for 2. Nettles just saved that. Few people are bitter. Pitch to Rodriguez is a line drive center field. Thomason comes in, and Sparky Lyle will pitch. So Ken Clay couldn't get it done. Tim Corcoran, who can hit lefties well, will bat. Let's tell you about Sparky Lyle. This is appearance 27. He is 7-1 on the year with 1 save, and right now he would be in this to win it. He's got a 3.76 ERA. He is a fastball pitcher. And the grounder goes in at 83. He has pitched twice in this series. Last night, he got lit up by the Tigers. An inning and 2/3. 5 hits, 3 runs all earned. He's walked 1 and struck out none. In 38 1/3 innings, he's allowed 46 hits, 3 homers, 17 runs, 16 earned. He has walked 12 and struck out 13. Doesn't matter if they win it more than 1% of the time. It only matters that they won it in real life. So it's Tim Corcoran at 239, no homers and 7 RBI. Boston's a fun city. I'll take my real life as played. So the winning run is on third. He's 90 feet away. Rodriguez can sit on his Adirondack chair at first. Just don't get... Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Big Clue. Hey, Jerry Remy can get me a Triple Crown. He can win the 78 World Series. So here we go. Corcoran at the plate. Lyle, lefty versus lefty. Pitch to Corcoran. Ground ball to third. Extra baseball today as Nettles fires to Garcia. And that will retire the side. A run on 2 hits and 1 error. We go to the 10th inning. Free baseball time. The Yankees and Tigers are tied at 4. So Chambliss, Piniella, and Spencer here in the 10th. Chambliss 1 for 3 is singled, grounded into a double play, walked, and drove in a run. Morris has thrown 3 2/3 innings. Pitch to Chris is a line drive, center field, maybe not. LaFleur runs in. He dives and can't make the play. So Chambliss is on with a single. Why can't I accept the results of Bucky Dent? It's because I'm a bitter 6-year-old kid who won't take no for an answer. Lou Piniella is 1 for 4. He has struck out once and singled. Pitch to Piniella is a ground ball to Rodriguez. Might be 2. Whittaker for 1. Thompson for 2. They go around the horn. 5, 4, 3. Jim Spencer's 1 for 4. He has singled and struck out. Besides, if I didn't do that, you'd be sitting at lunchtime watching more reruns to find out who the father was. It ain't me. Pitch to Spencer is a ground ball to Thompson. Over the bag himself, and that will retire the side. So Sparky Lyle will face Lance Parrish, Alan Trammell, and Lou Whittaker here in the bottom of the 10th. The Yankees get a hit, but that's it. No runs, no errors. After 9 1/2. 4-4 the score. So the Yankees, 4 runs, 10 hits, and an error. And they've stranded 8. The Tigers, 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. And they've stranded 11. Pitch to Parrish is a pop-up left side. Stanley, 1 away. Got awful quiet in the chat. Alan Trammell has struck out twice and singled with a run scored. Pitch from Lyle. Trammell. Line drive to Piniella. 2 out. And the 12th, it will be Thomason, Stanley, and Garcia for the Yankees. Whittaker. 1 for 3. He is singled and walked. Pitch from Lyle. And that's up the middle. A base hit past Garcia. So LaFleur at the plate. He's 2 for 5. He's got 3 game-winning RBIs on the year. He has scored twice. He has singled and doubled. And the winning run is on for the Tigers. And the Yankees bullpen gets rather thin in a hurry, kind of like my hairline. Throw to first, Whittaker back. 86 degrees now at Tiger Stadium. Pitch to the floor is popped up right side. Spencer makes the catch. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We've played 10. It's still 4-4. So Thomason, Stanley, and Garcia for the Yankees. Morris, through 4 2/3 innings, has thrown 57 pitches, 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. That's my fatigue warning. So everybody gets an... How you doing, Kurt Berglund? Everybody gets an expected pitch count, and when they get to so close, that tells me that my pitcher is starting to fatigue. And so I'll start watching the batting averages and see what Morris does. Yeah, it's kind of buffered here a couple times. It says it's okay. Pitch to Thomason, struck him out. Full count, and Gary goes down by way of the K. Fred Stanley has struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Reggie Jackson will pinch hit. So the crowd is agog now with Reggie at 306, 15 homers, and 50 RBI. Kemp, Staub, and Thompson for the Tigers in the bottom of the 11th. Morris deals. Jackson laces this one into right field. That's a single, and there's a 1 on and 1 out for Garcia, who I can't imagine will hit here. He is 3 for 4, however. Has singled 3 times and drove in a run. He stays in the game. There goes Reggie. Line drive. I'm sorry, it's a stolen base. And so Reggie, I'm not sure he had a green light there. Billy Martin yelling from the dugout. Reggie is on there with a 7 stolen base, and Garcia has a 1-0 count. Morris from the stretch. Ground ball to Trammell deep in the hole, and nobody's going to throw anywhere. So Reggie will hold at second. Yeah, his green light was different from anybody else. And so the Yankees have it first and second and 1 out for Roy White, who's 1 for 4. He's grounded into a double play, walked, stole a base, and scored. First and second, 1 out. 4-4 the score. Morris and Parrish will have a conversation. And the pitch is a ground ball, base hit right side. Reggie will hold at third. And Ralph Houck takes a slow walk out to get Jack Morris. John Hiller will come in with the bases loaded. We got a pitching change from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. So Hiller making his 24th appearance. He is 3-3 with 3 saves and an ERA of 4.42 and 38 2/3 innings. He's allowed 40 hits, 19 runs all earned, 3 home runs. He's walked 17 and struck out 33. Against the Yankees in 3 appearances before this, an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He is 0-1 with an ERA of 10.80 and a strikeout. He has given up 2 runs to the Yankees in this series. A fly ball pitcher that throws at 93. Sorry about the buffering issues. DJ John says it's kind of like being a teenager and watching on an unsubscribed porn channel, only getting bits and bobs and not really knowing what's going on. John, if you didn't know what was going on a scrambled porn channel, you had issues. Pitch to Nettles, who's 2 for 3. Fly ball, left center field. Back goes Kemp. That's off the wall. Jackson scores. Garcia scores. White rounds third. The throw from Trammell to Parrish is not in time. The Yankees put up a 3 spot. So Greg Nettles hits a 3-run double, and it's 7-4 New York. That's an ouch. Tigers had held in there and held in there and held in there. And so when they bring in their relief ace, it's a 3-run double. Here's Munson, who's 0 for 5. He struck out twice. Ground ball foul, or line drive foul. Somebody from Sheboygan made that play. And a count to Munson is 2-2. Here's a base hit all the way to the wall and right. Munson's got a double. Nettles will score, and it's 8-4 New York. Yeah, Hiller was good in his prime. This ain't it. Here's Chambliss, who's 2 for 4. He singled twice, walked, and drove in a run. Pitch to Chris is a ground ball to Thompson. Over to Hiller for the out. So Munson moves to third, 2 out. For Sweet Lou, who's 1 for 5 with a strikeout. Next stream, as far as this replay is concerned, will be Sunday. We'll do another stream on Sunday, too, because someone's got Patreon stuff they got to do. Wonder who that is. Piniella, line drive, base hit, left field. And so Munson scores, and kind of like after Taco Bell, you can only hold it in so long before you flush yourself out. So I'll bring up Jim Spencer, who's 1 for 5 with a strikeout. It is 9-4 New York in the top of the 11th inning. Pitch to Spencer is a ground ball, base hit left side. And so Hillers continues to cough up the hairball. He's retired 1. He's given up 4 hits. And 2 of these runs belong to him. Thomason is 0 for 4 with a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a run scored. Pitch to Gary is a ground ball to Thompson, flips it over to Hiller, and the side is finally retired. But it was not pretty for the Tigers. The Yankees get 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 11th at 1:16 Eastern Time. It's the Yankees 9, the Tigers 4. So Kemp 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 2 singles, and 3 RBI. The Tigers need 5 to tie and 6 to win. What do you think their chances are, gang? As Lorenzo says, adios. Pitch to Kemp, ball 4. So Lyle's day is about done. Now I'll bring up Staub. Rusty 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. The hit was a single. Pitch to Staub is a line drive to right. Piniella can't get it. And that's an error on Lou. No, it dropped in front of him. It dropped right in front of him, and the Tigers have 2 on and nobody out for Jason Thompson, who was 2 for 4. He singled twice and walked. This game may never end. Lyle delivers. Thompson, ground ball past Garcia. And Catfish Hunter's coming in. He is 0-3 with an ERA of 5.24. And because he had 1 relief appearance, the computer will use him. He pitched last night, 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit. 34 1/3 innings, 28 hits, 20 runs all earned, 8 homers, is walked 8, and struck out 17. The Rally Monkey equivalent would be a big old bottle of Stroh's. So the Tigers have them loaded. Kemp on third, Stop on second, and Thompson on first. 9-4 the score. Catfish deals, and there's a high fly ball to left that'll stay in the yard. White will corral it. Kemp will score, and it's 9-5. Okay, Dolly, you know what to do now. And here's Corcoran, who's 0 for 1. Parrish, Trammell, and Whittaker maybe to follow. So the Yankees have done their best to give this away. 9 runs, 17 hits, and an error for New York. They've left 10 on. The Tigers, 5 runs on 14 hits and no errors, and they've stranded 12. Pitch to Corcoran. Infield fly rule is called. Brian Doyle, who's a 3 at short, will make the catch, and the Tigers are down to their last chance for Lance Parrish, who is 0 for 5 and 2 strikes. We'll play the rest of the day in baseball and tell you what the Sunday game is in a moment. Catfish delivers. Line drive to short. Doyle will make the catch, and the Yankees will win this one 9-5. What a way to make a living. So Craig Nettles is our digital dice player of the game. 3 for 4, a home run to right field, and 4 RBI. Jack Morris takes the loss. I'm not sure how much he deserved it, but he'll take it. He goes to 2-3. Sparky Lyle goes to 8-1, and Catfish Hunter got himself a save, as the Yankee bullpen was very, very short. So a long day in baseball. The Yankee lead now is 3.5. And we'll let the rest of the day play out. We had 2 doubleheaders today. The Yankees pound out 17 hits in their win today. We had 3 doubleheaders today. Imagine that. Let's start with the one in San Diego. Dodger fans, this one's for you. Raleigh Fingers gets the win in Game 1. As first, they beat the Astros 2-1 in Game 2. Dennis Rasmussen gets the win, Eric Rasmussen gets the win as they beat the Astros 5-2. So 2 road losses for Houston. In one game, San Diego had 4 errors. That's pretty amazing. The rest of the day, doubleheader in Cleveland. Toronto takes the first behind Baylor Moore 3-0, and Cleveland took the nightcap behind Sid Mungie 2-1 or to go 1-2. Cleveland wins the nightcap 8-1, so they split. The Pirates beat the Mets 7-2. Doubleheader at Comiskey, and the Twins win them both 6-5. First game was 11 innings. Max Scarce gets the win. Chet Lemon 5 for 6 and a double. And the nightcap, a 10-inning game. Roger Erickson beats Jim Willoughby, and Chet Lemon, what a day. He went 8 for 11 in the doubleheader. One of those games, the Chi Sox had 16 hits. Phillies beat the Cubs 4-1. Larry Christensen goes to 7-5. Rick Russell takes the loss. Baltimore beat Boston 5-4. Jimmy Rice with his 27th home run of the year. Seattle 8, Milwaukee 5. Glenn Parrott goes to 4-0. Kansas City beats Oakland 7-3. Larry Gura with the win. Bob Forsch goes the distance. St. Louis shuts out Montreal 7-0. Keith Hernandez with his 6th of the year. Doubleheader in San Francisco. One game they struck out 15 times to the Giants, and John Montefiusco. One of these games. Oh, because the first game went 17 innings. San Francisco 2-1. Montefiusco 7 innings in that game and no decision. And in the second game, John Curtis gets the win as they beat Atlanta 4-2. The Dodgers shut out the Reds 13-0. Bob Welch with his first ever Major League Baseball win. Lee Lacy with his 10th of the year. He had 4 RBI, and Texas beats California 4-3. That's the day in baseball. Our Sunday game from Yankee Stadium in New York. It's the Yankees and the Red Sox. That's what we got for you. Standings, Philly by 1 over Pittsburgh. The Dodgers down by 4.5 over Houston. That doubleheader sweep was huge. San Diego, by the way, now 11.5 back. Yanks by 3 over the Orioles. Kansas City by 2 over California. Support chat tonight. We're taping Digital Dice at some point this afternoon. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.